how has my vision evolved from when I started the manufacturing going specifically to where it is now? Oh my gosh, man, talk about like having a, you know, catapulted through space. It's like that kind of difference. Um, I mean, starting out, a vision was, man, can I make payroll, every week, every month? Um, yeah, it was considerably different then because, you're in startup phase, right? And especially when I started, there was no like, it wasn't really startups necessarily, right? In the context of like today. And so the idea of what my vision was then was kind of just survival. It wasn't really like I had this. I had a vision that was baked into my brain, early on, which was because my grandfather was, 35-year Boeing guy, ran one of the production lines in Renton on the 37 line. My dad was like 10, 12 years Boeing guy. And my whole community is all, basically based around the life of Boeing people and so forth. And of course, my dad, he was laid off in the like 68 to 70 cycle where it was like, they actually had a big billboard in downtown that said last one out, turn the lights off. And he was like, don't ever be a Boeing number, which is kind of ironic because then eventually I didn't have an employee number, but I actually have a supplier number, which is, kind of a big deal. And so when I set out on my own, my vision was, yeah, I had a vision to be a Boeing direct supplier. The challenge with that concept of vision, at least then, is that I didn't have access to anybody that was one. I didn't know personally anybody that was a Boeing direct supplier. So, and all I ever saw was these big companies. I was like, wow, how do you even get behind the curtain, because you can't just like walk into Boeing, you got security and like it's all locked down. So it's not like you can just jump into something like this without having some kind of deep ties into the industry. And so, so that's what I kind of focused on, was just meeting people and learning, and I would go, and I'd be like a, third, fourth tier supplier to another subcontractor. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to become the proverbial Boeing supplier, right, and have this mystique, if you will, I had a very specific model in my head, to become an LTA supplier, which is long-term agreements. So you could actually stack up, millions and millions of dollars of contract work. So you had a good steady flow of income. So you had something to build it around. So yeah, the early dream was just to become an LTA supplier. But I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know how many people you're supposed to have, the size of the building, or what kind of volume you had to run. So that was kind of like the first phase is how do you just like become a known supplier? And the things that I could see from like the personal development world, the Brian Tracy's and Jim Rohn's and Tony Robbins and that kind of thing, was that you basically had to become a known commodity. You had to become known. And then what are you known for? And it was really like, hey, if you're going to be the lowest price guy in town, then that's what you're known for. If you're going to be not necessarily the lowest price, but, you never miss dates. You can get your quick turn shop, you can get things done faster. You have the highest quality that's anybody around, but you're going to pay a little more. And the joke is always, it's price, price, quality, and delivery. So you pick two. And that's kind of the model, is like somebody that can provide all three consistently, obviously would be a world-class supplier. And that just becomes a value proposition for your clients. And so I was just going to be the guy known that wouldn't always be the lowest price, but you could just trust us. We would always get it done for you. We would stay all-nighter, work all-nighters. I worked a lot of all-nighters. And I just wanted to be known for the go-to shop that would take care of you, and we'd be their number one supplier. And so that was kind of like the first, I'd say, vision that I had, was just be known as the freaking baddest, we got your back kind of facility. And that built a reputation that, anytime there was some super hot AOG, emergent alpha type project that came through one of the tier ones, they always knew who to go to. Like, you just go to Dylan, they'll take care of you. Go see Daryl, they'll take care of you. And that became sort of the first phase of vision and mantra in my model was, I'm just going to be the go-to guy. And that was phase one. And, it worked really well for quite a period of time, enough to build, a multi-million-dollar shop and, build a team. And that was phase one for me. Phase one of the vision was just be known as the go-to shop.